Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Monique Presley Show. Thank you so much for joining and for just being here and being a part of our community. I appreciate you. As usual, we have things that need clarity, the areas where there may be confusion. I don't think what we're talking about today is that confusing. We'll see. But we are still making it make sense here under a new name, the Monique Presley Show, but we're still doing what we committed to be doing for you for 3 years over on Instagram, and we're doing it still here. So please like this video, please share in our growing community here, as we all want to be part of something that is positive in a world that seems to have so much negative in it. I don't know if you guys have been around this morning. Have you seen anything that's going on this morning? Anything out of the usual? Probably not, but have you seen this? Have you seen it? Any thoughts? Anyone? Any thoughts about this? I have words, but I'm going to save my words. I was on Don Lemon's show. You can go see some of what I have to say, but I have two great guests who are doing great work in the field where journalists live. And I'm going to talk to them now because I think that they can help get us on track. At least I sure hope so. Can you please help me welcome Katie Phang? And help me welcome Jessica Yellin.
Hi.
For the first time to the Monique Presley Show, both of you. Hi.
Fantastic.
Hi.
Great to see you both.
Good Friday.
I'm not doing long honorific introductions because people know you and know your work, and you have your own shows in the independent media space and independent journalism space coming off of mainstream to here. And we have all, in some way or another, been in conversation about the attack on journalism from this administration. And I think both of you at one point or another pointed out to me that the attack was on Black independent journalists. And now here we are with what this president does, right? I mean, there's not necessarily anything new or different, but I will just go ahead and explain to those who don't know that in the middle of the night, when he does all of his things, the president of the United States shared on Truth Social a video, which I am choosing not to share in full. And we couldn't have the lovely Lion King music anyway, but it's a reimagining of Lion King. It's set in a jungle. And the former president, the first Black president of the United States, Barack Obama, and his wife, the former first lady, some of us refer to as the Forever Flotus, are depicted as apes in this age-old trope that is all brand new again, as of last night, from the president of the United States. And so, Jessica, your thoughts?
First, it's grotesque and it's shameful and embarrassing for all of America that this is what our president would be doing. And one is sort of lax for the proper words. Secondly, Donald Trump, though we already know through his policies that he's targeting Black and brown Americans through ICE every day in ways that are even more meaningful than this video, right? He does this sort of thing when he's trying to distract from something that's really bothering him. So what is he trying to distract from right now? What is he planning? What does he know is coming up? What is he doing? Because this is what he throws chum in the water to make all of us, especially in the media and activists on the left, get very upset and overwrought to distract from something else that he has going on. Two of my initial thoughts were the Melania Trump documentary seems to be being outperformed by reruns of Mrs. Obama's documentary, which might be triggering for the Obama family. For the Trump family and Donald Trump in particular. And folks are noticing that there is one name that is not appearing on the Epstein files at all, and that is Barack Obama, while Donald Trump and his family appear 38,000 times. So I think with all of Trump's distractions, you have to not only acknowledge the harm that they do, but also look at what is he trying to cover up or hide, and make sure we don't fall too much for his attempts to get us to look away from what's really happening.
Some initial thoughts, Katie?
I mean, it's a feature, not a bug, right? It's this guy's been an asshole racist his whole life at this point. And I think that what's the one of the biggest problems is that you don't have enough of a response of outrage from people, regardless if it's a distraction tactic or not, to have the White House press secretary defend it as she does. I mean, there's a reason why we call her KKK Caroline Leavitt, right? I mean, that's not a coincidence, one. And two, you know, it's really troubling because I actually did watch the video because I wanted to understand the context within which this racist, you know, snippet was kind of interjected. And it's embedded in a video that's also fucking wackadoo about election integrity and these insane conspiracy theories that the 2020 election was stolen. So putting aside that substantive issue that the president of the United States is peddling and reposting some crazy conspiracy video, it wasn't an accident to put that racist video in, right? And then for Caroline Leavitt then to refer it back to another video from which it was clipped, which was also racist and stupid and dumb, just goes to show that they either don't care, which is probably likely, but they also understand it's red meat for their base. Yeah. Because their base is racist. And so, I mean, I agree with Jessica. It is a distraction from all the failings and the bad stuff that's happening right now. I also, though, think that it does merit a conversation about it. And I can't believe I have to say thank you, Tim Scott, for coming out and demanding an apology and having it deleted. But it's just really quickly. It also bothers me that Caroline Leavitt's like, y'all just can't take a joke, right? It's usually like, oh, it's just a joke. Be, you know, kind of take it just like the same person who made this video. Monique is the person who did the video of Trump in a jet dropping shit on people during No King's Day. It's the same creator, right? And it's like, I'm supposed to take a joke. It's supposed to be a joke when you joke about being racist. So if I ran around calling you like a white cracker honky, like, oh, you can't fucking take a joke. Like, this is the stuff that bothers me, that people think it's okay either in a permissive structure to make it a joke, or they think we're supposed to be able to take it lying down because they call it a joke.
Well, and I appreciate you talking about the people around him, because what I said on Don's show this morning, and I agree with both of you, I am looking for what else is going to be happening today, because usually when he does these things, it's his up in the middle of the night, right, meandering and trying to figure out what he can do to distract from. And then they always do things like, if it's bad, it's on a Friday, so you wait for them to try to bury something. And I know that Jessica has a heart out for us, so I want to say what I said on Don's show, and I want your thoughts, Jessica, is that people who are dictators, criminal masterminds like our president, even though mastermind, I mean, that's giving too much, but criminally minded, you know, they use murder as distraction. Right. Like they will set off bombs in one area to distract from a heist in another. That doesn't mean that the murder isn't murder. They will rape and pillage communities, whole villages, you know, and rape's still bad. And what I feel about this is that I require everyone who wants me to support them in any way, shape, or form to pay attention to it and say something about it, because I recognize that this is the murder of our souls. Like with that particular trope is about dehumanizing a race of people. And it's never an accident. And so in the just can't take a joke world of it, I'm like, you know what? Not only can I not take a joke, but I want to make sure Coca-Cola can't take a joke. Right. I need Pepsi to not take a joke. I need Target to not take a joke. Let me figure out where your pressure points are, because that's where I'm going to make sure they understand it's not funny.
I think that he's done something here that again reminds us sort of, I sometimes think of Trump as what was covert is overt. He makes things evident in our society that many of us were unwilling to see. And what I'm seeing is that when he does things like this, it wakes up some people who maybe didn't appreciate how far-reaching racism is in certain quarters of this country and how far it reaches into the corridors of power. And they start to see that there is something rotten here. And I think that he does cause us, more of us, to wake up and realize I have to take a stand because this is my country, and I don't agree with that. I actually think it alienates some of the people that he needs to have in his corner, because it is so deeply offensive on a foundational level to so many people, even if they don't like experience themselves as, sort of open-minded progressive people, right? And I think what we have is, Trump always talks about the Don Rowe doctrine. I think his doctrine is the chaos doctrine. And what he does is he just literally throws shit whenever he needs to. And a lot of the shit also matters. You just have to like pay attention to all of it at once, because as Katie pointed out, it is so meaningful that this was about election integrity as well. We're juggling so many crises at once. And so I just want to say, like, I'm so grateful for both of you, the moral outrage, the clarity you bring, and together with facts grounded in information. And I just want to say, finally, I do think it's waking people up. I do, like, just look at Minnesota. He could have gone to a place where people didn't respond. And look at how they're responding. I think it's happening again with this video. I see it in my audience. There are so many I'm just a mom at home. I do my thing. I cannot stand this happening in America. What can I do? So if there's any silver lining, I think it shows those of us who care, it's time to find one another and do something. And I'm just mortified this is our reality.
Well, please tell people before you go where they can follow News Not Noise.
Oh, you're sweet. I'm on Instagram at Jessica Yellin, and I have a Substack called News Not Noise. And our mission is to break down news in context in ways that leave you calm so you can engage again and empowered to take action.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate
you. Great to see you. Good to see you.
Bye, Jessica.
Bye.
Joining us now,
Nola. Excuse me, Dr. Nola.
Dr. Nola Haynes.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, sis. Hey. Are you there? Are you on mute?
Who?
No. Can you see me?
Nope, I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Dr. Haynes?
I can hear you.
I can't hear her.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
StreamYard gets glitchy sometimes.
It does.
It really does.
Because your picture's a little blurry too.
I'll come back in, Nola. And we'll try once more and again.
Okay.
Like, hang up and rejoin us.
Okay.
And maybe it'll be okay. Because I just turned up my YouTube and I can't hear you there either.
Can you hear me though, Monique?
I can perfectly clearly.
Yeah, because I was actually able to hear Nola and see her. So let's see maybe when she comes back in if that fixes that. StreamYard's been glitchy lately. I've had problems too when I've done my episodes for my channel. So there's definitely something going on with StreamYard.
I could see her pretty face. I hope not.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey. See in here.
There we go.
I'm glad you're smiling, but give us your thoughts, Nola.
I'm smiling because I'm hungover, y'all. Last night I went to Stan's. Stan's is the
I haven't
devil.
been to Stan's in forever.
Girl, Stan's is the devil. I had 3 lemon drops. And
Wait, I've never been. I want to go now.
You will have it's such a fun
Girl,
I'm ready.
Good time.
I'm ready.
chicken wings and hardcore drinks.
Oh my God, it's like a dream. Oh my God.
Good chicken wings.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm there. Is it in DC?
Yeah, yes. We gotta go.
I'll be there for state. I'll be there for State of the Union. So let's go to Stan's.
Okay, perfect. So we gotta do a Stan's trip.
We'll do a Stan's.
Ooh, all right, y'all. So we talking about this racist man and 1600.
Wait, so you have some breaking news, Dr. Haynes, right? Monique, she dropped something in the chat for us. I feel like she should share it with us. Monique.
Oh, yes. So
in the chat, but yes, please do. Oh, and I still can't see it.
Well, then
because I
it'll
came
be a
back in.
surprise for you too. Then.
Oh, because you left and came back in. Okay,
Yep.
Oh.
tell me.
So apparently they deleted it and then blamed a staffer.
Mm.
So, can you send me a picture of that so I can post it while we're on here?
Let me see if I can find it again. Because I have Stan's brain, so I don't know. I should have saved it.
Here's what I love about this.
I'm looking too, by the way.
Here's what I love about this. They once again let her dumb butt go out there and defend it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're disavowing it.
Yeah, but she should not put her ass on the line for shit she hasn't seen either. By the way, you know how we know she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about? Because she referenced the old video from October of 2025 that was the entirety of the Democrats, including Hakeem Jeffries, Schumer, etc. That is a clip from that bigger video. So she referenced that like, oh, you dumbasses, this is your fake outrage over this video that showed him as king of the jungle, as Trump king of the jungle, and the Democrats as animals in the jungle. But no, this wasn't. This was the election integrity video, and some racist shit got it stuck in there. Excuse me. But anyway, yeah.
So what they're saying now, if anybody can find it, is that
I just sent you something by someone. I don't know if this is a reputable.
This screenshot. Well, we'll keep searching if it's not.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
This, which was on his page, it would even be interesting to me to learn that if that's what they want to say to us, that some of his middle of the night cray is people being cray in the middle of the night for him. That's kind of even creepier. You got staffers posting for you. This was midnight.
That part
at all.
Like it was midnight. It was 12 o'clock.
Sleep at the foot of his bed. Like what the hell?
Oh yeah, here I got it. It says breaking news: NBC. Trump removes racist video depicting the Obamas as apes. White House blames a staffer for racist Obama video shared by Trump. White House initially defended the post. Following widespread bipartisan backlash, the post was removed.
But it was a joke.
White House staffer erroneously made the post. It has been taken down.
Katie, you coloreds can't take a joke.
Well, that's why I said, what if I were to call some people white cracker honky? Oh, you can't take my joke?
And
you touchy coloreds.
Oh my God, you're so yellow, Katie. Why are you being so yellow?
NBC says.
That's what NBC says right here.
Racist taken. I just want to put it up. I'm going to send it to myself so I can put it up on the screen. Here's the thing. I think what they learned sort of immediately, because the wrong people were feeling the need to respond about this, is where too far actually is when your approval rating is 36%. Because
I'm sure Tim Scott piping up didn't help.
Tim Scott, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Nola.
but I'm not giving him any damn credit.
Me neither. Talking about, I hope this is fake. You know it's not fake. That's your homeboy. He rolls like that. And people
at least he said something though. He doesn't even get like he doesn't get 2 cents of credit for saying something.
Anyway.
No, because here's the thing. This is my thing with Tim Scott. Did I just put it up? I hope I didn't disappear trying to put it up. Okay, I probably did, but I'll come back in. So here we can play it now or post a little snippet of it now. So we will have the record reflecting. My thing with him, and Garrison was talking about it a little earlier when I was on Don's show. Tim Scott is responsible for some of the most egregious backsliding things that have happened since he's been a part of this administration. The reason why the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act did not pass, largely Tim Scott, and this is just the little snippet that Katie read to us. The White House initially defended the post. Blames a staffer for racist Obama's video shared. I wonder how exactly. How Sway? I'm gonna need details on how
Same.
the staffer
Same.
was responsible for this, and who's staffing you?
How does this conversation happen?
I thought Dan Scavino was doing all of the Truth Social shit. Was I wrong? I thought Dan Scavino, it was either him or Trump that were supposed to be posting on Truth Social, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know.
Oh, they don't even let any staffers be involved.
No, I didn't think so. But you know what? This is like, I think that he did it. Obviously, they want to blame a staffer, like the Kofefi boy. Remember Kofefi?
Yeah. Not Kofefi. Katie.
You remember that Kofefi boy? Oh my God, Kofefi.
I agree with you, Teresa Marlene, 4374, 100%.
Yep.
Oh yeah, amen. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
It's raining, and yes, people are sounding off. I see where Tim Scott is concerned. I agree. I don't know how to agree any more than saying I vehemently agree. He is a coward who openly supports this administration. He does not get a pass, and his whole everybody
Someone
no
just
pass.
Gum
No pass.
can F
You
all the way
should
out. I am
not
dying.
pass.
I am dying. Gum.
I am Gandalf right now, and he cannot pass. Okay, you stay your behind over there.
When legislators don't do their jobs, and when they lie in the faces of grieving families, we were in rooms with him, and God help me, with Lindsey Graham, and Lindsey Graham was more helpful when we were trying to get legislation passed that would have prevented things like what we're seeing on the streets now. But all that aside, Dr. Nola, your thoughts on the white supremacist president who posted the racist trope that they are now claiming was a staffer, and your thoughts on what we need to see by way of leadership and this country in response.
It's really unfortunate because you have the leader of the United States, and that used to mean something, right? That came with a swag and cachet that has been completely destroyed, dismantled, diminished. And every single day he goes lower and lower. And the thing that upsets me the most is that we get dragged down with him. Right? We are stuck in the mud and the dirt, swimming around with him because we have to wake up in the morning and see things like this and come on shows and talk about it. That's a level of constant trauma that we're just not built for. We're just not built for the constant shocks to the system, right? The way that they happen under this man. So, one of the reasons why I wound up at Stan's last night because yesterday was a tough day with the New START treaty expiring. Yeah. And I know that it's not top of mind for a lot of people, but when I think about, we no longer have guardrails. The two largest nuclear arsenals on the planet no longer have legal guardrails. And this happened under Trump. Now, this has been a long, ongoing situation. Don't get me wrong, because when I was at state, this happened then when Russia started talking about walking away from the table. But I'm bringing all this together to say the state of our country right now, because of the leader of our country right now, it is serious. It's funny, it's comical, it's entertaining, but this has real impact around the world. I talked to some of my counterparts yesterday internationally, and they are to say that they are laughing at us, that's an understatement. And that hurts. And it's because of that man.
Doesn't it make them nervous also, though?
Does it make me nervous?
Doesn't it make them nervous because this country, to me, is too powerful to be in such a stupid, incompetent, ignorant place? Like, it's dangerous for everybody.
Yep, exactly. We stuck in the damn mud and dirt with him. Yeah. I mean, so I'm not saying that in this year pause that's happening with the negotiations, that something's going to happen. But we are literally living on vibes and wish you well. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really feels like we are in the upside down.
Katie,
So-
what are we supposed to do about it? Like, say whatever you want to say. I know you're about to say something, but I'm curious, and I'm asking everybody because I think this is where we are right now, and the only way we get out is with each other. And I wonder what those action steps look like, what people think that looks like.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to quickly address what Dr. Haynes just said.
Katie.
But, you know, Nola, I had Alexandra Bell on my show, on my channel last week
Alex.
to talk about the START treating being over, effective yesterday, and to talk about the doomsday clock being set so close to midnight, the closest it's ever been since
Was it
they
89
started.
seconds now?
And you know, one of the
explain explain, because people are listening
wondering
and
what it is. Okay.
And wait, what?
So I learned, because I thought this was important. So the doomsday clock came after, and Nola, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like an Oppenheimer creation. It was basically a post-nuclear capability clock that is set every year, midnight being pretty much the end of the world.
Yeah.
And the closer you are to midnight, the more precarious things are for our world, not just for Americans. And one of the reasons why we are the closest we've ever been in the history of the doomsday clock is, one, the nuclear proliferation that continues not only in the United States, Russia, but other countries, Iran, right, India, Pakistan, etc. Number two, our climate is in such bad shape. And the failure of the United States to be able to take a leadership role, to be able to protect our environment and our world from climate change is a problem. Autocracy and the rise of autocracy across the world is another reason why we are closer. And technology, particularly the technologies like AI that are disruptive in ways that the tech may be good, but the use of it may be bad. That type of stuff has been a kind of a quadruple whammy that has inched us closer to apocalypse and the end of the world. And that is why we have this thing called a doomsday clock. And it's the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. I urge everybody to go and check out the website, because they do a spectacular, very simple, easy to understand explanation of what it is. And this bulletin has Nobel Prize winners, scholars, etc., that can explain this in ways I thought was important. And when Alexandra and I, who Dr. Haynes knows, because Alexandra was basically running our nuclear program.
So we worked in the same bureau at T. So,
there you go. So you know her. So everything that Nola is saying has completely been echoed by Alexandra. And Alexandra, I asked her, I'm like, people aren't talking about this because they're talking about gas prices, chicken prices, egg prices. We're talking about racism. We're talking about people getting executed in the streets, which is related to autocracy. But I asked her, I'm like, Alex, how do we kind of reconcile these things so people understand that we kind of do need to be talking about our failure to get into a new treaty with a country like Russia? And she's like, people need to talk about it because it's literally the end of the world. Like you won't
deal.
That. And then
I had 3 lemon drops that stands, Katie. 3 lemon drops. That's a death wish.
But you like she was saying, who cares about the price of chicken if the world's over, right? So
it's
amazing.
The existential crisis. Yeah.
And it kind of answers your question, Monique, which is kind of, you know, we kind of have to get people situated mentally to understand that there are very big fish we're frying and small little minnows we're taking care of every day. And we're trying to kind of do it in a way that's elegant. And some days it's just not. And some days it's just me releasing an F-bomb every 2 seconds because that's the urgency of what's happening. And so I think to answer your question, Monique, the way that we respond to this is we all kind of continued to lean into our authenticity of who we are, our respective backgrounds, our training, our experience, our skill sets, to be able to convey to people, this was racist, this wasn't an accident, this wasn't a joke. The world is in a more precarious, dangerous place today on Friday, February 6th than it was yesterday because of the expiration of this treaty, which, according to Dr. Haynes and Alexandra Bell, this has been, the approach was made by Russia to try to revisit the terms of this, and the Trump administration has not responded in more than a year. I mean, these are the things that we just have to continue to tell people that they need to be thinking about, because then I think the collective measure ends up being we're in an oh shit situation because of Donald Trump and his administration, not because of, other international players, even though they are relevant. This really does have to do with the lack of leadership we have right now.
And to follow that up, we need experts talking. I have a series of conversations with a lot of folks in the national security community who, decided to take early retirement. And they're trying to figure out what to do next. You need to inform people. That's what you need to be doing.
Yep.
Right. But the issue is, like me, first of all, they're like, okay, so how can I be heard and be seen in such a crowded, field, right? And Katie, you mentioned authenticity. I think we are in that era. We are in that time where people want to hear from the experts in very different ways, more intimate ways. So I'm saying one of the ways that we can push back, experts, pick up your phone, talk in it, inform people, educate people about your little niche world. There are a lot of people out there that's very interested in hearing from folks. So community and the experts, y'all need to get over yourselves and speak up.
Right. I agree. And obviously, I have something on the screen that I am placing on the screen every day, every show, and mentioning every time I am on anything, because I know that if people, while we have elections, it would be important to make sure you are registered to vote and that your household is registered to vote, and then get to work organizing so that your block, your community is voting, because as Katie just said, this is failed leadership, and we put those people in there. And I'm not just talking about this president, which I hope people now understand when they say things like, it doesn't really matter who the president is, it's fixed, et cetera, that was never true, okay? It was more true at some points in this country's history because we weren't dealing with like narcissistic, maniacal criminals who were overt in their criminality. I had to qualify it because we've had all those other things. And so now we have the power to make a change. I saw somebody in the comments say, we survived 200 years, we can do a 10-month stint. But this is hard time, y'all. This is hard time that we are about to have to serve right now.
This is like, this is hard labor time.
This is not a stint like where they now have sent Ghislaine Maxwell. This is not that kind of stuff. We are in the slavery part of the penitentiary hard time. The entire country, as to your point, Nola, is hostage. And we're damn near out of time for today. I want to see what is in the comments, but some closing thoughts, guys, just on, thank you, first of all, Katie Phang for joining for the first time. We appreciate you.
Oh, I know. I'm thrilled. I was like so psyched to get the invite to hang out. Are you kidding me? But I also feel like you and I have been taking up real estate for Don Lemon for the last week. So I was like, let's go hang out on Monique's channel now.
we have been in the spaces, and that also, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because I'm on here with some Persist sisters. Shout out to the Persist Network.
Shout out Persist.
I think the women really need to handle our business and ensure that our voices, our disposition, our way of seeing the world, and our pragmatism, frankly, leads the day. I've had enough of these men, folks. Ooh. I just have. And there's good ones and there's bad ones and there's middle ones, but we've seen every variety now. So I am just interested in the future of leadership, not just of our daughters, damn it, us. Us, like, I was on And you can see it in all kinds of ways, but in the past week, I've been like on 4 different things where I was the only woman, and I was the only person who was noticing that I was the only woman. And I'm like, are we really still here?
We are.
What the hell is happening? Go ahead, y'all.
Well, no, listen, and I have been making sure that when we've talked about what happened and the travesty that happened to free speech and the First Amendment last Thursday night, I'm always making sure I mention Georgia Fort, because Georgia Fort's name gets dropped all the damn time in this conversation. And I'm not blaming Dawn for this, but it was Don Lemon and Georgia Fort that were both arrested. Georgia in her home in front of her small children and her family, Dawn in California. And you know, I think it's important that we always make sure that we mention Georgia when we talk about what happened and this assault on the Fourth Estate and the free press. But you're right, Monique. I do think that this is just an endemic problem. It's just not getting better. And it's funny because at the end of the day, though, a lot of the eyes turn to us to be able to make it better and to fix it. You know, what is the saying? If you want something done, give it to the busiest woman. And I do think that's kind of why we are now being asked to kind of take the laboring oar on a lot of stuff that's happening. That being said, though, Jessica Yellin did say something which is true. One of the coolest things I saw in Minneapolis was that level of community organization that I was just stunned by. And I was just so inspirational. We really could take a page out of that playbook, because they've really got their shit together in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the way they've responded to this invasion of their cities. And they really are leaning into every different kind of facet of who you are. If you're religious, we have the religious groups that are banding together for interfaith alliances. If you are a person of color, those are also communities that are now working together. And I love to see them holding space for each other and the elimination of wedges that usually have been driven between these communities to kind of pit them against each other for the scarcity of resources that usually is available, right? Financial difficulties are now being overcome by people leaning in and either donating or giving money, right? I mean, it's been amazing. And then just the straight up just badassery of walking kids to school, driving coworkers so they're not followed by ICE, protecting people in these ways. I mean, that is what has sustained that microcosm of the universe right there. And that's what was going to get us through this. All of that being said, though, you know, Nola is right. We have to insist that people that are experts in their own spaces, that they join us, that they don't say, I'm sitting this one out, or, you know, oh, I'm just an older person who doesn't have anything to add. I mean, we need all hands on deck right now, especially as we see Steve Bannon, Caroline Levitt, and others saying, don't rule out ICE being at the polls in November.
Right. That is insane. Nola, some closing thoughts.
So first and foremost, I'm happy that you mentioned persist, because I think one of the ways that we've all gotten through this is with each other. Right. And every time I talk about the current political time that we're in, the first thing that I mention is community, you know, and that is one of the most amazing things that has come out of this horrible time, is the community building, and people, you know, that are stepping up in ways that they maybe didn't see themselves stepping up in ways. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I would be perfectly happy right now if I was at aerospace somewhere. But you know what? I'm a Black woman. I'm part of the 92%. And so, you know, I'm not. So, you know, there's that. And it's community that has held me together, especially, you know, during this time. So I definitely want to kind of like herald that and say, you know, whatever you are, whatever your community is, lean into it. That's how you're going to get through this, truly. Yeah. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, I want to say, Mo, what you all did last week, I mean, I was just so proud. I can't even tell y'all how proud. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. And I just feel so uniquely blessed because I get to really know y'all in real life. You You know what I mean? Like, so I'm watching all of this, feeling away because I'm like, I know these amazing women. Like, that is so powerful. And, you know, the last thing that I want to say is your girl got a new podcast coming out. So, um,
Yeah.
so Katie, I'm going to be on the I signed a 2-year deal with Find Out Media with Tim Fullerton and those guys.
Amazing.
So I have a new podcast coming out called I'm Not Jack Ryan. I'm really excited.
You're better. It should have been called I'm Better Than Jack Ryan. That's what the title should have been.
So you can already kind of guess it's going to be national security and culture together. And
Cool.
we are expanding the definition of security. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be informative. And I'm stepping into, I mentioned I would love to be at aerospace just working because I didn't see this for myself. You know, I'm an expert who does media and then I go about my business. I didn't see media as being the thing. You know what I mean? So I'm stepping into an uncertain, you know, time in my life. And I urge a lot of experts out there that are trying to figure this thing out. I know it's scary, you know, and I know that for many career people, especially, they're not used to being out front.
That's right.
But we need you. We need your voices.
We will all be watching. Thank you, Nola. You know you're welcome on here at any time.
Thank you, Mama.
What
y'all invites are on the way, so just FYI.
Sounds good to me.
What you said almost brought a tear to my eye. Thank you, Nola. We'll be watching. I wanted to say just to you, Katie, I won't ever forget handing off to you after being on Don's show for 4 hours.
That was wild.
A week ago today.
I can't believe it's only been a week, by the way.
It's been 7 days, and the world is constantly changing, as you said. But I did feel that in that moment, everybody was committed to, well, no matter what happens, we're not going to be afraid. We're going to talk about it. We're going to cover it, and we're going to show up for each other. So I am just so thankful to you. It's so funny that I passed off to you when I left, and then you were still there and you passed off to me when we came back. But I think that was such a special experience because I really did have a better understanding of even our community as people who are committed to telling the truth.
Yep. No, listen, you just were a force. It was wild to see that. Ironically, part of the reason why I wasn't on until that afternoon is I was at a conference with Jim Acosta of all people, and we were kind of tackling everything. And my friend Norm Eisen, like we were trying to tackle everything offsite, trying to deal with stuff with Dawn. And you know, I was so proud to see you, Reese Colbert, and Charles Coleman, and you know, and just the parade of just incredible people coming through, just expressing their anger about what happened to Dawn in Georgia, but also their encouragement that you know we're not we're not cowering in the corner and we're not scuttling off to a little corner. Like we're like loud and proud about what we have accomplished and what we continue to do together. So yeah, I totally get it.
Well, thank you, Katie. Tell us where we can find you.
Oh, yeah. So I am at Katie Phang News. That's my YouTube channel. And I am also on Substack and all other social media. My handle is at Katie Phang. It's PHANG, not FANG, even though the artificial intelligence transcript makes it FANG. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, that's where I am. And I am just trying to hold down the fort in kind of that intersection of law and politics and some culture, and just trying to make sure that, you know, those F-bombs get across.
Well, you're welcome to do that here with me anytime. I appreciate you.
Know.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks for having me today.
All right. Bye-bye. Guys, please support these women, these powerful, smart, brilliant, independent thinking, sharing of themselves women. Please support us, as you can see running on the bottom of the screen. Please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. We will continue to bring you more of the same. You can support through giving at Business PayPal or Cash App, $Monique Presley TV, or by subscribing here to the channel and becoming a member of the channel. I am wearing a shirt, which will be the last thing I have to say. This is a quote from my friend Ben Crump. We have to be unapologetic defenders of Black life. All right. And that's what I am today and every day. And that means when they say something that they shouldn't say, we talk about it and we demand from our leaders and from those where we spend our money, we demand the same. I will see you here Monday. Well, maybe later with a little something different, but the show will be back here Monday, noon Eastern. Until then,